Good to have you with us. Week 4 in our Identyme series. And this week, I'm looking at the idea of me, myself and I. No, not all my personalities, but I need 3 volunteers. All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and down. 3. Yep.
I want to be I.
Yes, I'm sure. You can be me. I mean, me can be you. And you can be myself. The interesting thing about...
Double fold it. It helps.
No, let's not do that. Unless you want us to do that, Mummy. You know, we'll just do this, you know. It's all right, we got it. No, we got it. We got it. Hey, what are you doing to this young man, you know? Nice, we got it. There we go. Sometimes our identity can be just like, just step over that way, because I've been given strict instructions. Yeah, over another metre. Keep wiggling. I mean, sometimes we can feel like this. Sometimes you can feel like an I person, you know. You just kind of, your own identity is like, oh yeah, I really love doing this kind of thing, you know. The me part of us is like, someone pick me, you know, choose me as a friend on Facebook or whatever, you know, that might be. And myself, sometimes you might find yourself that you're kind of pretty cool with who you are in yourself. You like to be by yourself. I like myself at times, you know, or I love myself in other times. And so you can feel like any type of any one of these ideas at any time. And in our identity, sometimes that can feel like 3 different people, and we can feel like that. You know, we can feel like at times we are several people trapped into one body, and I know right through my life people say to me, I'm a Gemini, right? So, and I don't really subscribe to any of that. If you do, that's up to you. I don't. It's not my thing. But Geminis, they talk about split personality because they're, you know, or another person said to me, two-faced, and I went, oh, that's interesting. And so I don't know whether you follow the horoscopes or whatever you do, but some people follow that quite vigilantly. And I don't know about you, but I found myself at times having kind of split personality moments, depending on which environment I'm in, what group of people I'm trying to attract and all that sort of stuff. And there was an interesting study done around young people, around their identity, and they said this was an interesting study I picked up last week. Did you know that since 2012, the amount of time young people spend online has grown by 37%, which equates to about 4 hours a day online? Would that be true? Now, that's not 4 hours in total, you know, like as in like one block. That's like 4 hours. I could probably think of my online time. I probably think that's probably right, you know. I don't know. Yeah? Yep. 4 hours? If you leave Facebook on all day, you're online all the time, you know, you're checking ping, you know, your notification, all that sort of stuff. So you're waiting for interaction with the other, you know, human creatures that are on Facebook. So the study also revealed that the more time that you spent online, the more challenged you were about whether people were paying attention to you. So it's a bit addictive. It's a bit like drugs at one level. The more you take, the more you need. And so, a bit like being online, the more things that you hook into and be a part of, all of a sudden there can be, like I might have, there'll be our leadership groups on Facebook, our boards on Facebook, our Boys to Men's on Facebook. I've got my own personal stuff on Facebook. I'm probably on 3 or 4 other network groups that are on Facebook, and at any one time those things can be rolling over like a slot machine, you know, and I'm trying to get work done, and you've got this activity going on that you may or may not have to respond to. But what it actually identified from young people's point of view, the more that we spend online trying to get people to notice us, it actually affects our self-esteem. It actually degrades our self-esteem, so it lowers it. Because we begin to get really almost addicted to kind of like, why has nobody responded to my birthday? Why has nobody responded to my party? Why has nobody responded to my post? And so you'll put, like we said last week, you'll put like you can sometimes put negative posts on to see if you get a response about that. I've noticed over the past 2 days while I've been on Facebook, there's been massive negative posts being put up there from people that, some people in this room and others that are not even connected here, that I'm friends on Facebook, and I'm just asked the question, why? What is going on that they got no response from a positive post, but they put a negative post on, and there were some people giving some pretty negative responses too. And one that challenges me is when you put a negative post on and someone likes your negative post. I was watching a post the other day, yesterday, by a mate of mine he's a horsey guy, and he was cracking it at people who give horse owners who have got a horse in a float and they're driving along the road and they're taking their time and they slow down, they speed up and all that sort of stuff. And there was an image of the horse float over and the horse was dead in the float. They'd had an accident and the horse float had rolled over and the horse had died, and he was making a statement. Now, I like the statement, but what he was trying to say, like, don't give us a hard time, we've got a live animal on board, but I couldn't, I was going to like it, and I was thinking, am I liking a dead horse? Or am I, I was thinking, I like the statement, but I really don't like the statement, but I agree with the statement. So sometimes you can get conflicted about whether you like something because it's, sometimes that's how I feel, or whether, and you're just relating to the person, I get like that. I've been like that at times, and so you like it because there's no other option, or you make a comment.
Why do you have to press like, not comment?
Well, you can comment on it. Sometimes I've seen statements on there. I sort of see a statement sometimes and go, oh. There's so many times I want to comment, but I've learnt not to at times because it might not go well with the person I'm commenting on. There have been posts over the past years that I have commented on. I know some of our leaders have put some posts up at times that I've just given a really blunt perspective back on that, about affirming that person, because I don't want them to settle for less. I don't believe what they're saying about themselves at that point is actually accurate, and I need to be the one, or want to be the one that says, you know what, slap up the side of the face and redirect you a little bit, wake you up because you're on that pity train and someone needs to derail you at some point and get you back on track where you actually belong. But why is this? I was asking this question, why is it? Why is it I can have 3 senses of personality? And that's because, one of the reasons why I figured it out. It's because we feel invisible. Every single person on this planet, in this room, is looking to be noticed by someone, at least one other person. Just to be loved, just to be valued, just to be accepted, and just to feel like they belong. There's but one other person. But we feel so invisible at times that we struggle with the positivity all the time, so we put a negative thing out there and say, someone please notice me.
My son doesn't even notice me when I get a haircut. Like that.
Before you got a haircut.
So, and the issue is, the minute these 3 guys stood up here, something within us, even when the girls were and the guys were doing their thing here, some of us were watching and looking and saying, oh no, if they just did this, if they just did that, then others of us were looking at it and saying, oh, I like her pants, or I like her bra, or that's nice, and we were instantly looking at how they were looking. Within like milliseconds, these 3 guys stand up here, and the minute you see Jack's me around his groin, you go, who will lift that me up, yeah, that's nice, that's a nice little me look. And so we're instantly looking at these guys saying, oh yeah, Carl's eyes, I like Carl's eyes tonight, they look cool.
Yeah, they changed colour.
So the challenge for us is simply this. Every single one of us have been programmed instantaneously to kind of within split seconds to judge a person right in the moment. And if you think that you're like that, then somebody else is like that, and that's why you spend so much time trying to get it right. And that's why girls at times, and I've seen boys do this too, go through their wardrobes, and then they'll ring a man, they'll call a friend and say, have you got something for me to wear? And they go, are you serious? You've got like a cupboard full. No, I've got nothing. I got nothing to wear. I know. I've been around. I've seen your rooms at times when you went home. So the challenge for us is that if you're looking for your identity online, you're looking at a digital image, right? A digital something that can be altered in any way, like a persona, like somebody has dressed something else up. Because online you can be anything. Not that.
That's what you want.
You can be a paddle pop if you want, but so here's the problem. I was thinking to myself, What is it that causes us to think that our online presence and our real-time presence instantaneously can be the same? Well, I'm going to explain it to you. Turn around, Dracula. Here's a little biology lesson for you. In our brain, I've shared this with you sometimes before, between 14 to 24, they say the emotional brain starts at the cerebral cortex and it begins to develop forward. Right? Turn around. When you reach 24, your logic brain is in the front of your brain, right? That develops backwards. So by the time you reach 24, ka-ching, you know, in the centre of your brain, hopefully these two hemispheres join together. And here's the problem. Your impulse control is in the front of your brain. But young people between the ages of 14 to 24 are all emotional driven. Turn around, please, model. So they're starting here. Everything's driven from back here. Where's the impulse control?
Front.
At the front. Whereas most of your decision process is happening? Back here. So what happens? Yeah, you have a fritz, right? And the fritz is simply that. If you could just get hold of. So there are times before mobile phones and before the internet, before anything else that was going on, if you had an impulse about something, you used to have to wait, you know, you used to have to wait for it, you know, like if you had to go and buy something or do something before credit cards and all this kind of gear, you had to wait. But now, boom, instantaneous. You can instantly gratify, choose, make a decision, post something, boom, within milliseconds without thinking. And then after it's done, you go, damn it! Or people might respond to that, so you put a post up about something. It was classic. I did it about Kyle. Kyle reminds me of a particular character, and I posted that on Facebook a while back. I'm not saying which one that is. And within moments, there was some comments, in particular one from his girlfriend in defence of him. And so instantly I felt like, you know what, remove.
You're welcome.
Because there was a moment of, I'm thinking, this is a joke, we're all been giggling about it, but it's at his expense. So I put it up thinking, well, his family, of course you can always rag your family. And so you can't actually do that. It's not right.
You can to an extent.
You can, but it's not right to make somebody feel lesser of a person because it makes you feel funny, feel good about that particular thing. So the challenge for us is your impulse control is right here in the front of your brain. So when you think about something that you're going to do, I want to encourage you this week, just as you go to do that thing, post that thing, write that thing, do whatever it is, just step forward and just go, my foot's stuck. That's your impulse control, pause button. Just like if you're watching a video on YouTube or whatever and you just hit pause, you know, whatever it is, just pause, boop. You know, just pretend you've got bad reception for a moment, just in your decision-making process. If you could just take, you know, every decision, that impulse decision I'm talking about, not a calculated decision, but if you've got an impulse decision about something to do with you, just take a moment this week to press pause and go, you know what, I'm just going to give myself an hour. You know, an hour to think about this, half an hour, a day, just to sort of stop a month, you know, to stop the impulse about this particular thing. If he doesn't show me love tonight, I just don't know what I'll do. Take a day, you'll get over it. Have a coffee, have a bit of ice cream, and you'll be fine. You know, honestly. You know, tomorrow he will have what? Chocolate. You know, have a piece of chocolate and you'll be okay, because it's the same receptors in the brain of pleasure that is for chocolate. Ooh, that's connection for you. So, the reality for us guys is simply this. If you're struggling with me, myself and I, that's because sometimes our online presence, and I think some of you said last week you have sort of 8 or 10 different online presence, is that can be a lot of management to figure out who you are, and you could be 10 different personalities on all those different spaces and places, and you could struggle with figuring out, well, which one is the right one. And sometimes we feed each of those little moments so it gives us a message of who we are. And the best responses from those sites that we get, that's who we begin to be. But it actually might not be you. It might be something that you're becoming because, wow, if anybody found out the real me, they actually wouldn't like me. And so I'll become that because on all of these social media sites, this is the one that gives me the most identity, the most response, the most acceptance, so I'm going to be that. It's scary, man. Because we could all be ripped off because you're choosing to be that when you should be just you. the reality is, in your blood, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, where we talked about the fingerprint that's in you. When they take your blood, they can assess the type of blood you are. Well, they call it plasma, or whatever you want to call it, blood. And they take your plasma and they put it under a microscope, and they can check out your DNA. They can even check out your unborn child's DNA to see if that's the two parents. Isn't that amazing? Just out of a little bit of plasma on a screen under a microscope, they can actually check out your kid's DNA to see if you're the biological parent. That's how unique you are. And so when we put all of ourselves out on all these media sites and all these people, someone please comment on this. I am astounded. I've seen some intelligent people put some stupid things on Facebook and say, please everybody give me your opinion. What are they going to get?
Nothing.
No.
Opinion.
Everyone's opinion, If you've got a select few of wise people in your life, get their opinion. It's good to get opinions about decisions you're making, about things in your life. I was on the phone the other day and a mate of mine said to me simply this. He said, Phil, I'm a pretty straight up kind of guy. I'm a straight shooter, I said, yeah, that's true, mate, you are. And I said, but you're also an avoider. And he goes, I am not. Because he didn't know how to answer, because he admitted, he said, I am not, he's avoiding. He goes, what do you mean? I said, there are scenarios in your life, situations in your life, that you do a workaround on because you don't know how to deal with it. And I gave him half a dozen situations in which he was workaround. He goes, freak. You're right. I said, I'm only telling you that because I love you. And you don't actually have to be like that. Because all this over here is magnificent. And this over here, you're just going to have to come to terms with. So my encouragement with you this week is, as you go to instantly respond to I, me, myself, when you find yourself in that moment where you're just yearning because you feel so invisible this week, that you feel someone just pick me. Someone just talk to me. Someone just, say something to me. Don't go to the dark side and put something negative out there just so you get a response. Be okay with you. Just embrace that moment. There's that moment Phil was talking about. Identity. Your identity right at that point is not based. You're going to have to fight it because it's in your DNA. It's like it's woven into you. You're going to have to fight it. The more you fight it, the stronger you get at it. The stronger you get to be okay about you. And people who would normally affect you, it's like a superhero. Pew, pew, pew. Bullets bouncing off, Wonder Woman. You got them ricochet bracelets, that kind of stuff. That's what you're going to be like. So this week, press pause on your impulse control point. Remember, that's here. Most of your stuff comes out of here, right? That's just how it is. It's not like, So, and if you're older than 24, just remember where people under 24 are responding from, and just go, that's just your impulse control center not activated yet. Then they go, well, what? Shut down! Yeah, him in the nose. That'll shut him down. No. So guys, we're going to go into PATS tonight, which is, I'm so excited.